Hello, my name's Rob and welcome to Swift Slots. Now, there's no happy intro to this video because it is a very serious topic, I think. Now, I'm going to have to cut this video in all sorts of ways and I'm going to have to be extremely careful in what I say. And if I say something during this recording and I don't like it, I'm going to re-say it and I'll splice it in. So this video might be a bit slow, it might have lots of cuts in it, but I've got to do that because I've got to be very careful in what I say. I don't want to incriminate myself, so I've got to tread very carefully to not get sued or whatever. So here goes. Now there will be a few ifs and buts and a few ers. Bear with me. The basic information will be here. And do read between the lines. When I say things, read between the lines because the truth will be somewhere in the shade. So a few months ago, about 6 months ago I believe, I bought a Bambu A1 printer and I loved it. I'd never used one before. I had to hit the ground running and try and learn how to use it and so on, and I think I did manage to get to use it. The Bambu machine was working almost every single day since I bought it. The first job I ever did with it was a 4-day print. It just went on and on and on, and I printed all that. And it was my intention to actually look at the hours that this machine has run, because in the 6 months that I've owned it, I don't think there's been a 24-hour period where it hasn't actually been working. So I've had a lot of use out of this machine. That is fair to say. How many hours? I don't actually know, but it's a lot. I dare say it's a lot of hours. So I went to the show this weekend at the Slot Fest and I left my machine running, and a member of my family was there just to keep an eye on it. And halfway through the print, so we were probably, as a big print, we were probably about 10 hours into the print, and I'd left home at this point and I was at the show, so there's nothing I could do about it. The machine just stopped working. So we decided as a family over the phone to just turn the machine off, and I left it there like that over the weekend. And when I came back home, I looked into the problem, thinking it was just a reset or something along those lines. Turns out, long story short, it's melted. It has completely melted and broken down. I've set this here up at an angle so you can see that this is actually my machine. And if you look here, you can see that there's a big dip in the case, just here on the top and actually on the bottom, although the actual base plate is not with this machine for a second, but you can see that there's a bit of a melt there and there's a melt in the bottom of the case. So I've also got pictures. I'll put pictures just here running along so that you can see. So again, I've got to be careful because I don't want to get sued. So I went on the internet and I typed in Bambu A1 case melted, because at this point I didn't know what I was dealing with. I just saw the case had melted. And let's just say I found some things to read. So let's just leave it there. So I contacted Bambu through their messaging system, and I eventually got a Bambu ticket. So I was on the list for an email to be sent. So that was waiting to come in, and about 20 hours had gone past, and I thought, I'm not sure if they're going to get back to me. Now, some of you guys have seen that I've got that little sprint bug model that I'm doing with Pendle Slot, and that is done. You guys that you've been to the show, you've seen that model, it's done. Now that model's ready to go, but it relies on me using this printer. So my work schedule now is being absolutely held up because this machine is dead. So I'm not really in a position to buy a new one, and I'm not really in a position to have the work delayed either. I don't want to give the files out because they're my files. I want to keep them in hand. So I'm stuck. I've got projects that need to be done. I've got work that's lined up that needs to be done. My printer is dead and it's not coming back, and I'm waiting for a ticket from Bambu. So the Bambu came through eventually on the email, not through the messaging system, and they said, can you send us pictures of the casing removed from the printer? So I'm like, well, I don't really know how to pull the thing apart, and I don't really think that I should as a customer. I mean, it's 6 months old, the warranty's a year. Really, it should just be, it's dead, sorted out. Anyway, I turned the machine upside down and I managed to undo some screws. Now there's a little picture here, and I've circled the screws to take apart in case you want to do this yourself, just to even check. So there's 6 screws on the back of the machine, on the case, the thin case. There's 6 of them running around, black ones. You only need to take those off. That removes the back panel. And then there's 10 around the front case, the bigger one. It's like a big U. So you undo 10 black screws, but also you need to undo that little module that goes to the tower. So really all you need to do is unplug the 3 plugs that you've plugged in when you set it up originally, and there's one long screw that you can see. So you can take out that one long screw and then you slide the unit back and then it comes out. It's on a little plug. You may not, I didn't remember how I put it in when I first got 6 months ago, so I struggled to get that out until I realized. So you just undo one screw, the screw that you can see, the silver screw, pull the module back, and then you can take the module away from the bottom of the machine. Then, like I say, you undo the 10 screws and then you can open up the back of the machine, and there's a way to do that as well. If you take the bottom of the case on the side where the head comes to rest, it'll come away there. Now there are little clips around it, so there will be a bit of resistance, but you can get a little chisel in there or a little knife or whatever, get it going, and then you can work your way around and work from this rested side where the head rests around to this side over here, because on the other side of the board there's a metal perforated plate and it's got glue on it. So on the edge of the base, that glue holds the base, and it looks like the base isn't coming off. So what you do is you undo it from this side, and then you lever it at an angle, and as you swing it around, it will break the glue on the other side, white glue, and then the base will actually then come off, so you can get in there. So once you're inside the machine, you'll actually see the problem. If you've got a melted patch just here, you will actually see the, sorry, I'm actually back to front, aren't I? You actually hinge it from this side. It's the non-rested side. I'm looking at the machine all back to front because I'm normally looking at it upside down. So you undo it from the non-rested side, swing it around, and then you break it off from here, because the metal perforated plate is just about here where these perforations are in the side. So it swings this way relative to how the machine is here. You'll get it if you try. It will come off. It's 10 screws, lever it and it'll come off. So if you look in there, there's a thing called a thermistor. Now it's a round component that's about the size of a UK 1p piece. I don't know what it would be in America. I don't know, a cent maybe. So, and it's completely obliterated. That component is no longer. It's completely gone, and the shielding that goes around it is also completely melted. Obviously the case is melted, and also if you look at this picture here, there are boots around connectors on either side of that component. On one side of those boots you can see it's lovely and blue, clear and lovely. On the other side is black. Now that isn't done by design. That black is caused by the heating of this thermistor destroying itself. So it's damaging other components as well. So I've learnt all this because of this Bambu, my own one. Now I'm not saying that all these machines will go up in smoke. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is my machine has melted, and when I went on the internet I did actually find information to read about this topic. Let's just say that. So at the moment as it stands, I've bought another A1. Now I'm not happy about buying another one. Firstly because I can't really afford to buy another one. Secondly, I don't feel like I should. So, but I also feel that this could take a while through the Bambu ticketing process, and I don't have time to wait for them to sort it out, because like I say, I've got paying jobs that I need this machine to do. So I am physically being held back now because of the reliability of this A1. So the ticketing people have asked for pictures. I finally managed to get the back off. I've sent them pictures and it's now with them. Now I have read in some literature online that when this situation occurs, Bambu will not replace the machine in the instances that I have read about. And granted, I've only read a couple. I spent an evening just researching this. What they do in what I've read is in the situations where it's happened or where they've had to sort it out, they've sent boards. And I have read that perhaps they send a case, because my case is completely wrecked top and bottom. So it's left to the customer, from what I've seen, to have to replace it. Now that may not happen in my case, and if it doesn't I will report back and I will tell you what happened. I'll probably report back anyway. So at the moment this machine is with the ticketing system. They've got the pictures and I'm waiting to hear back from them. I've ended up buying a new machine because I did manage to get a little bit of a discount, it would appear. I don't quite know how I managed it, but I just went into rebuy on my account and I rebought it, and I seem to have paid the same price as I bought this one for 6 months ago. Not sure if that's still going to be the case. Again, I'll probably report back and tell you. So that's where I am. So I'm going to get a new machine. Now, I'm not happy about buying a new machine for a number of different reasons. And I do actually intend to change my brand, because I was a brand new 3D printer when I bought this 6 months ago. This is my first experience with a 3D printer. And let's say I'm less than impressed at this point with this machine. Now, I hope that there's a better Bambu machine further up the food chain of these particular machines that I could buy. Don't want to spend more money, but if there's a different one further up the line of price within the Bambu ecosystem, I'd entertain buying it if it doesn't have this problem. I'm sitting here now, I can smell this. It's burnt. It stinks, actually. I'm not really enjoying sitting next door to it. It actually stinks of the burnt electronics. It's not a very nice smell. So really what I want to do is possibly change brand. Now, you guys know I am a total beginner. I learned everything that I know or don't even know on 3D printing on this machine. I'm vaguely now familiar with the Bambu Studio. I wouldn't say I like the way it works, as I don't know any other options, but I can work it. I can get to where I need to be with it. So I don't really want to have to relearn a new studio. However, this is my request to you guys. Like I say, unhappy with this machine, looking to buy another brand if I can. So the question to you guys is there a brand out there that's reliable? Is there a brand out there that's reliable and relatively inexpensive? And is there a brand out there that has a good suite, the slicing suite? I don't know the terms. I mean, the Bambu have got a really great suite there that's all in there. So is there a brand out there that I could move to that's reliable, a known history, has a good studio, a slicing studio to go with their printer, and have an AMS on it as well, that I could possibly jump to? Because I don't know if this machine gets fixed. Honestly, I don't want it, because it's wrecked. I mean, it stinks for a start, so it's always going to stink of burnt electronics. I don't know if anybody's going to want to buy it second hand. I mean, I'll have a new board in there at the very least. I mean, if Bambu change it straight up, then fine, I can sell it as a brand new machine, because it will be. But this particular one, I don't want it. And I can't honestly say I'm massively enthusiastic about keeping the brand new one I've just bought that'll be here this week, because like I say, I've got to keep up with my work. So yeah, if you guys could help me moving in a different direction other than Bambu, or maybe suggest something further up the food chain within the Bambu ecosystem, that would be great. But I've got to choose my words carefully here. It wouldn't be a bad idea if you checked your machine if you have a Bambu A1 like this. Look around this area here where the head comes to rest. Look to see if the case looks even slightly deformed. If it does look deformed, take the main plate off the bottom and just have a look to see if you can see any charring around the component that's directly opposite this melted. Again, picture just here. Just for your own peace of mind, have a look. Now, I did read that it happens, or can happen, more when you're using higher bed temperatures. Now, I have been using PETG on this machine, and that's when it actually melted itself when I was running PETG, and the bed temperature was 70 degrees. So that is not high, but it's on the higher end. It's above PLA. So PLA is about, what, 65? So PETG is on, it was 70, put it this way. So yeah, it tends to be more a case of higher temperatures, although I wouldn't say that 70 was massively high. But it was coming to the end, or it was on a 16-hour print, and it had done about 8 hours straight, which again is not that long. And this machine's been running for 6 months solid, almost every single day. So there we are. So this is just a little video to keep you up to date with what I found with my personal printer, and I just thought that I would like to air my thoughts. Again, got to be careful what I say. So if you can help me out with a replacement printer, that would be great. If you have one of these printers and you might want to check it, then that might be a good idea. I am early days with my Bambu ticket, so I will report back and tell you how they treated me, whether they replaced the machine or made me replace the parts. I'll keep you posted on maybe a shorter video later on and just tell you how it went. But welcome to 3D printing. I appear to have many of the problems that other people have with 3D printing, and this is just another one to go with my catalogue. So there we are. I'll keep you posted. If you can help me with any of this, then feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll tell you how it all went. So this is me, Swift Slots, showing you the problems that I've got with my own personal Bambu A1. So until the next time, thank you very much.